Right guys, welcome back to another episode, and today we've got something very special for you. We have the infamous M1 Singh back with his 992 Turbo S. As some of you may know, he previously had a crazy 901.2 Turbo S that went all the way up to an ES 1500 package. Now he's in a 992 Turbo S. He's brought it in and he said, listen, I want a very fast street car. So we're going to start it out with an ES 900 and then take it from there. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button, hit the like button, and keep watching. Yes guys, we have this very special 992 Turbo S sitting right there behind me, and it's special for two reasons. Number one being that it's had a killer set of modifications which we'll go through, and number two, the owner is Mr. M1 Singh. So if you guys have been following the channel and follow us on Instagram and on YouTube, you would have known that Munraj did used to have a 901.2 and it was a killer ES 1500 build. So those of you who know him and know his history with cars, he does not do things by halves. So that's why it's going to be a very interesting and exciting project for all of us to be getting his 992 in. So as a brief description of what we have done to it, he's going to start out with our signature ES 900 setup. So that is our bolt-on package for the stock engine. As well as that, we've put on some Bilstein coilovers and our signature wheels as well, which are a little bit lighter than factory. They're a better offset, and of course every little bit helps with performance, right? So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's see what it made on the dyno, and let's get it out on the street and see what the numbers are. So Munraj's ES 900 is now complete. As you can see from the dyno graph, it's made the 900 wheel horsepower on the nose. This equates to 1,058 horsepower at the crank, and that equates to a very, very fast car on the road. So stay tuned and find out exactly what numbers this bad boy does, because it's going to be a real street killer.
Safety.
Right guys, we've got something very interesting for you today. So what we're going to do is have a little comparison of a couple of our builds. A lot of people already know the performance and the pinnacles that the ES900 has reached in terms of its outright just speed and acceleration and response and everything. It's just a stupidly fast street car, right? And it's amazingly fun to drive. We've obviously pushed apart above and beyond with the ES1300, and we just want to show the difference, because some people might be thinking, okay, look, the ES900 is very, very fast, which it is, and the 1300 on pump fuel and meth is also very fast. So we know obviously on ethanol this thing's a beast, right? 2-second cars is a different level and it's not even a competition. However, a lot of people don't want to run ethanol, right? You just want to run your pump and your meth and see what the difference is. Because if you're not going to be mixing any ethanol up, or you don't want to bother about race fuel, you still want to have a setup that's, you know, the best it could be just on your normal Tesco Shell SO99 pump fuel with some meth injection. So what we're going to do is show a bit of a comparison with a 900 and the ES1300 on pump fuel only. That way it will be a bit fairer, and it's a straight comparison, pump fuel versus pump fuel. Our best bolt-on stock engine setup against our built engine setup, and just to show you guys that look, it's not always about draggy numbers, because people look at the draggy numbers and say, oh, it runs 3.4 on pump fuel and your ES900 on average does like a 3.9, for example, or 3.839, and you know, it's only 0.4 of a second, 0.5 of a second. But we want to show, okay, look, what does that difference translate to in real world terms, number one. And number two, it's not always about those numbers. It's also about how the car accelerates above that speed and how it actually comes on boost, and the whole sort of power delivery, the speed of the shifting, everything. It makes it a big difference, because the 1300 in terms of a package is quite advanced over the 900. So there's a lot of things at play that will help it, that isn't always, you know, black and white with a draggy number. So we just want to put that all in perspective for everybody watching, and then you can really appreciate how much of an upgrade the 1300 is over the 900. So okay, what we're going to do is we're going to be bringing up not just a normal ES900, we're going to be putting up one of the very fastest ES900s we've ever done to date, up against the 1300. So we're not making it easy on ourselves whatsoever. We want to give ourselves a challenge, and we're going to have an extra lightweight stick driving this, so super light, not a normal driver, someone who's even lighter and even faster. So yeah, this is going to be a close race. I don't know how much of a gap it's going to be, but let's find out, man.
But yeah, man, what do you think is going to happen tonight?
I reckon from the get-go it's going to be a little bit close, and then obviously the ES1300 is just going to...
It's ES900 and it's smaller turbos.
Yeah, smaller turbos.
Hybrid turbos, they literally just come on straight away. We all know ES900 has damage. It's beaten so many high powerful cars and even bikes. So with that, it'll be the first time these two cars are going out. So let's see how the boys get on driving it. I think it's going to be that ES1300 will pull quite hard.
Yeah, I reckon so, yeah. Like you say, from the get-go, the smaller turbos might get the drop.
Might get the drop in as soon as...
Yes.
I don't know if you guys seen that video, it was a couple of years ago. The blue shop car 991.2 versus ES900. That was pretty cool, because we actually launched both of them. And because the ES900 launched so well, that took off after like 1/8 of a mile. Literally, that just went flying past, and that was on pump fuel. But again, it goes down to the turbos. The bigger the turbos, obviously the longer they take to build up, but once they get going, they get going. So yeah, that's exactly what I think the same thing's going to happen. I think it'll be at least 7-8 car lengths. That's on the minimum. Obviously the boys ain't going to go stupid speeds, but to an extent I think it'll be quite big of a gap.
So guys, that was sick. As you can see, the ES1300 on pump fuel is no slouch whatsoever. We got a best of 3.20, 100 to 200 on pump fuel with MEF with that, with this cold temperature on those runs. And it was running consistently those numbers. And yeah, the ES900 as well was running fast, man. It was running 3.7s. It did do a 3.48, which was a bit iffy because I think it went through a bridge. So even though the Draghi said it was valid, I don't think it can be like legitimate because obviously it's a one-off. It's too far off the others as an anomaly. So I'm not going to take that fully as a legitimate one. But it runs consistently as a 3.700 to 200 car, and you can see the difference, man. So that's that. As you can see, pump fuel versus pump fuel. It's quite a big difference. And if that car was running on ethanol and running the potential that it has got on ethanol fully, it'd be a completely different story.